Good evening. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday afternoon. I hope you've been having a blessed day with your family. To all you fathers out there, again, I'd like to extend to you a happy Father's Day. I hope you're having a happy and a blessed Father's Day as you deserve, spending time perhaps with your family, with your loved ones. So I hope you're having a blessed day. As some matters of housekeeping go, I just want to continue to remind you or make mention that we are in the midst of our summer series, and I believe that we're off to a very good start on this. And this week coming up, I don't think will be any different. We have Keith Parker, who's going to be with us on Wednesday night. That'll begin at 6:30 on Wednesday night. There will be options available where you can worship with us at the building or online. And Keith is going to be speaking to us about Jesus from the standpoint of being a servant. So, a great speaker and a great topic that's going to be coming up. If you're with us online, please share this while you're watching it with whoever you may. And if you come to the building and watch with us at the building, then remember when you go home to share this with as many people as you can. Just from my standpoint, a little point of encouragement for you. If you are watching these at home, I would encourage you to, I know that they are available in some instances, we just can't help but to watch them later. But I would encourage you, from my standpoint, I think it would be good for you if you're watching online to try to tune in and watch these at the same time that we are worshiping at the building. I think it's in a sense that we are together in doing that, and it's also helping to keep us on track for doing things the way that they need to be done. So tune in with us in some form or fashion on Wednesday night at 6:30 to see Keith Parker. Share it with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Let's make the most that we can out of this summer series. Now, today is Father's Day, and it reminds me about this article, or of this article that I saw back in the week, and perhaps that's why this article was out there. But basically, it was about a study that had been done while this pandemic deal has been going on. And it was talking about how fathers have grown closer to their children, to their families during this time. So, yes, that is some glimmer of goodness that's coming out of all of this. You see, we've just got to look for these things, but I suspect that if we did some investigation, that we would find out that not only have fathers grown closer to their children, but I want to say, venture to say, that families have grown closer together in general. If you take out all the things that cloud up the world and all the different places that we could go and eat and shop and things like that, and then what's left behind is family and more time to eat at home, to sit down together and share a meal together, then I think that's certainly a positive side to all these things that have been going on. So certainly there's room for growth in this area. We need to benefit. And it's an area that I think probably most of us, if we admit and if we're truthful, that we need to work on this. I was at Polishing the Pulpit a few years ago. That's a seminar type thing that goes on every year over in the Sevierville area. Thousands of people, members of the church, come together. Various different speakers speak on different topics, and sometimes there's kind of like a forum type deal where each one of them answers a question. And this particular year, I think it was either like 5 or 7 men, and it was called a Graybeards Forum. So if you get the point behind this, these are older gentlemen who are a little bit more experienced. And the question that was asked of them was, if they had something that they could change in their lives, what would that be? If they could look back on their lives and they could change something, what would that be? And one of the men said that he would have spent more time with his family. And as it started down the line, others may have added to that, but just about every one of those men said that that was also something that they would have done differently in their lives, that they would have spent more time with their family. So we can be a great person, a great man, a great spiritual leader, but if we're not getting this done at home, then something's going to be missing. In 1 Samuel chapter 8, I'm sure that you're familiar with the passage where the children of Israel asked for a king. I just want to take a quick look at that. 1 Samuel chapter 8, beginning in verse 1, it says, "Now it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. The name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second was Abijah. They were judges in Beersheba. But his sons did not walk in his ways. They turned aside after dishonest gain, took bribes, and perverted justice. Then all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah and said to him, Look, you are old, and your sons do not walk in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. So here we are at this point in Samuel's career. He's gotten to be an old man, and sadly his sons have not followed in his ways. They've taken up other stuff. They've perverted justice, if you will. And the nation of Israel, because of this, they're asking for a king. There's a sad little footnote. We're looking at this in chapter 8. And just kind of like a footnote at the end of chapter 7, I want you to notice what the Bible says beginning in verse 15. Now this is 1 Samuel chapter 7, backing up just a little bit to verse 15. And Samuel judged Israel all the days of his life. He went from year to year on a circuit to Bethel, Gilgal, Mizpah, and judged Israel in all those places. But he always returned to Ramah, for his home was there. There he judged Israel, and there he built an altar to the Lord. So you see, Samuel was traveling around on a circuit to all these different places. He was visiting, he was judging there, he was helping those people. Now, I can't say for sure, but it's very interesting to me that chapter 7 closes out with that, and chapter 8 immediately opens up telling us that his sons did not follow in his ways. Now, I can't guarantee you that that was the problem that caused these sons to go off track, because there have been some people that have put as much work as could be imagined in raising their kids, and they've still gone off track. But this one thing that I can say, when I look at this, at the very least, I can say that there's room for him to look back and to possibly have regrets if he didn't spend enough time nurturing his family, loving, caring for, trying to help to keep them on the right track. I'm challenging myself and you, each one of you that are watching this, for all of us to do a better job at trying to keep our families close together. It's sad that it takes a disaster or something terrible happening like a pandemic for us to grow closer to our families. No doubt many of you have probably sat around at funeral homes before, and you've talked with your loved ones that you've not seen, that you've not talked to in a long time, friends from the past, and you say, why is it that it takes something like this to bring us close together? Well, sometimes it just takes something like this to give us a wake-up call. In this case, it's the results that we're seeing from people being locked down, not having as many places to go. Families have drawn closer together. So I'm challenging each one of us to work harder, man, woman, kids, whatever. Work harder to be closer as a family. And not only that, not only with our physical families, but we need to work harder to be closer to our spiritual families. We need to work harder to be closer to our church members, especially those that have not been able to get out at all during this time because of their age, because of their health, things like that. You may be sitting around at home, you may think that things are okay, but I can certainly tell you that there's probably someone out there that's hurting, that's in need of a phone call, in need of you reaching out to them. So all of us, I think, could work harder at being closer to our physical families, our spiritual as well. Thank you for tuning in, and I pray that you have a blessed week.